Lloyd, what do you think led to just I guess, overmatchedness in this type of game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're short-handed, and we're asking guys that to do a little bit more, as I talked about before, and needing them to do a little bit more. And you know, it puts I wouldn't say pressure, but you know, it puts you in a situation where you need everything to go right. You need everything to go well, and obviously tonight didn't go well for us, and it went great for them. Credit to them. I told my cousin after we played these guys the first time. He asked me from before. I said, "What's so?" I said, "They're probably the most physical team we've played all year." And you know, in that game, they were turning you over and they're getting out in transition and scoring. But tonight, you know, they combined the shooting, the exceptional shooting. And so when you see a team playing at a level that they're playing at, that's hard to overcome in general. And you know, our guys, we just didn't have anything in us tonight. I applauded the guys that were out there. You know, Goga coming out to play. Where he clearly wanted to do it for his teammates, and he's trying to just be there. And you know, our guys are fighting as we're undermanned, but I applauded their effort of just being out there and knowing this is going to be a tough stretch, but we got to stay together.
What was it about Desmond Bane in particular that made it difficult? I know he started the game red hot, and Jaren Jackson had a good game as well.
You know, Desmond Bane, Melton, you know, all of them shot it with confidence. You know, I didn't think we had the aggression to really run them off the three-point line. We were there, we had a hand up, but I didn't think they felt us at all. Again, I think this is a team, as you guys saw last night, they're playing with extreme confidence, and it doesn't matter who's in or who's out for them. They stand up the entire time. They're playing with confidence. They're supporting each other. It's a physical group that's playing for something. They're trying to move up in the standings, and they're trying to make their mark. So I spent 2 years here. I know what the grit and grind was back then, and they've kind of taken it to another level. They're playing with grit. They're playing with grind. They're playing with swag. And tonight you saw a lot of that.
What did you think of the performance that Lance Stevenson had offensively, even though it seemed like the one sort of bright spot, 5 from 3, and typical Lance, you know, playing hard to the end?
Yeah, I mean, we needed anything to go in tonight. Obviously, he was 5 for 5 from 3 and gave us a little bit of a boost in the fourth quarter. But at that point, you know, the game was out of control. But no, I applauded all of our guys and their effort for being out there. And you know, it's hard when you're in this stretch and you're undermanned and things aren't going well and you're trying to find a way through. So, you know, anybody that just played with confidence, I kept telling them in the huddle, you know, keep shooting the ball, keep shooting with confidence. Obviously, Lance shot it well from 3 tonight, and a couple other guys didn't. But, you know, good for him, good for us to be out there. We'll figure out a way on a day off tomorrow to go up to Toronto and get a couple guys back, hopefully, on Saturday and try and compete up there.
Any update on Goga? I know he took the elbow to the throat.
I think he was fine. Yeah, I mean, missed call, but he was fine.
What is it about this team without Morant that still has that kind of offensive punch?
It's a team. You know, I think it's a testament of a real team and a true team. What are they, 16-2 without him? You know, this is a group of guys that play with the confidence and swagger. I think they all have something to prove. Each and every guy on that roster has something to prove. He's the head of the snake. You know, he's the guy that gets the accolades, and everyone wants to see him, and they follow suit. But they all have it. They all have that swagger. They all bring that toughness and physicality. They've got great backbone in Adams and Jackson back there defensively. But you know, when they're shooting the ball that well, that shows you the confidence that they're playing with.
Do you think that Rick not being here had anything to?
Of course, yeah. I mean, he's our head guy, and you know, it speaks to everything. When you're missing a guy and you're missing guys and you're undermanned, it affects everyone. You know, everyone's in a position to do more. We're asking guys that haven't played a lot to play more minutes. We're asking guys that shouldn't be playing so much to play a little bit more. But he's the head of our team, and him not being here, you know, I'm sure guys are concerned and worried, and we're on a back-to-back, and there's a lot going on. So, of course, but at this level, it's also an opportunity for everyone to just step in and try and be a pro and do your job and find ways to do it a little bit better every possession.
Pat Boylan, go ahead.
Lloyd, Rick mentioned last week that what Memphis is doing is what you guys are trying to build. Their physicality, their togetherness, how they play without a guy like Morant, is that also kind of a blueprint for the way that you guys want to play as well?
Well, I think they're a great example of not skipping steps in a lot of ways. You've seen, I mean, just look at them physically, and you can see a guy like Jaren Jackson who, through his injury, has had to rehab and had to spend a lot of time developing his skill set, but also his body and making sure he's healthy. He looks strong, he looks confident, he's shooting it from outside, he's playing inside. And you go down the line, you know, Dylan Brooks missed a lot of time this year, and he's always been a guy that plays with confidence. But they've been patient, and they've been able to develop guys, and they've also been able to grow guys. So, yeah, I think it's a great blueprint for any team. Each year they've gotten better. Each year they've added another piece. And you're seeing, in addition to physically their dominance on both sides of the floor, you're seeing them shoot the ball at a high level and the skill set and the work they're putting in. And you see that they trust each other. They play with a great amount of trust on both ends of the floor. So I think any team that's looking to advance should be looking at the Memphis Grizzlies.
All right, last question, Tony East.
Oh, you've been more involved in the defensive side of the year this season, at least that's what Rick tells us. Tonight and in general, the last couple games maybe since the All-Star break, what have you kind of noticed that lets you guys kind of sliding a bit on the defensive end of the floor?
I think at this stage it's always going to be consistency. The one consistent area that we've been able to focus on is we've simplified our coverages. But as you're missing guys and you're trying to rotate guys in and out of lineup, we don't have Malcolm Brogdon, we don't have Chris Duarte. We obviously haven't seen Miles or TJ in a long time. When you get undermanned, you have to, change a couple of your schemes and coverages. We didn't know if we were going to have Goga tonight, so we were trying to figure out how we were going to be able to compete, being small and being different. Each game takes a different toll and a different challenge. But we're still going to keep preaching the same messages of how we can defend the paint a little bit better, how we can get back in transition defense a little bit better. Without our bigs, how we can find ways to compete on the boards. But again, it always comes down to consistency. That's the best way we can hold guys accountable, and that's the best way we can evaluate ourselves.
Terry, what are your takeaways just from facing a team like that, and maybe just the gap of having to, trying to become a better team, better franchise?
We didn't come ready to play physically. They came out and set the tone early, and we just got to limit the little things and come together as a team more, and listen to the scout and personnel more. So we got a little ways to go, but we just got to keep fighting and giving our best effort.
What was it about Jaren Jackson in particular that kind of makes the game difficult, being able to, as versatile as he is?
He's like 7 foot. He shoots the three really well. He actually goes to his left better than he does his right, in my opinion. He can post up. He can go out and guard and switch it. So he's a very tough matchup every night for anybody. But we gotta just buckle down and try to guard him the best we can.
How do you think Rick? First of all, how did you, find out about Rick not being here, and maybe what was your reaction to that? And then secondly, how tough was it to carry on without him?
I think we found out yesterday after our game against Sacramento, I think. But it shouldn't have no effect. Lloyd and all them know the ins and outs of the team and what Rick would want. So I feel like that shouldn't have bothered us at all. They just came out and played harder than we did.
Pat Boylan, go ahead.
Where he at?
On screen.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk to the camera back there.
I was like, where he at? There's 2 people in here. 2 nails in here.
Terry, they out rebounded you guys by 24 tonight. They're a very good rebounding team. You guys are shorthanded. How much of that is just not having the typical bodies you do? How much of it is maybe you guys just not getting it done at the level that you'd like to on the glass?
It's a little bit of both. We can make all the excuses in the world, but at the end of the day, whoever goes down that floor still got to go out there and compete and box out and, just play our best. So it is what it is.
Goga, what's your main takeaway from tonight, and maybe how tough was it to face a Memphis team without Rick Carlisle?
It's a good team, man. They're playing well, from the jump. They get into a body, and they play tough. So So we gotta start better. Games aggressive in defense and not let them get it going. Because they see one going in. They feel confident and they come down and make I don't know how many threes they make. So that's what it is. And we just gotta stay together. Some guys are beat up, play through it, and we gotta help each other because we're a lot of men's down. So we gotta help each other.
Can this type of game be used as maybe just motivation in a window to where you want to get as a team? Seeing a team that where they were a few years ago to where they are now?
Definitely, man. They didn't just get there in 1 year. We're a new team. We're still learning each other, how to play with each other, and definitely, play tough in defense, offensively. It's a great team, like I said. So take little things from, some good things from other teams. I guess it's a smart thing to do. So we just build on this. Learn new things every game and just keep playing hard. And I don't think any of us in the locker room think we didn't play hard. Just we go out there and do 100%. That's how I feel.
I know you've been dealing with the foot thing, but how's your throat after catching the elbow in that whole sequence?
I didn't even complain to the refs. I guess I caught an elbow in my throat, so it's not that bad. I just felt it at that moment. Right now it's all fine, so it should be good.
Pat Boylan, go ahead.
Goga, Rick has called the biggest key here down the stretch of the season individual development, and you're in one of the best stretches of your Pacers career. What's the key to you to closing out this season strong, from making this a 7-game stretch where you're playing well to maybe by the end of the year looking at a 15-game stretch or so where you close the season strong?
Yeah, man, gotta use the opportunity, whenever it comes out. We've been saying, everybody been telling me, I've been here 3 years, so just gotta stay ready, use the opportunity to get out there and do 100%. So it's a great chance for us, young players who didn't get much playing time last couple of years, and new guys as well. They're using, their time well. Like Dwayne playing great. Terry. Nobody talks about it, but this guy comes out and shows up every single night. He's there. If somebody's not available, he got our back. So all of us young players, we just gotta keep playing. It's a great opportunity. Every time you step on the floor, you gotta play like it's your last time playing. So you gotta use the opportunity.